With FC26 just around the corner, there are some big improvements on the horizon that could finally take career mode to the next level. From updates to the FC IQ system to new features that make playing career mode a better experience, we're breaking down some of the things that will be better in FC26 career mode. Make sure you are subscribed, we've got a lot of FC26 videos still to come. We're also very close to 300,000 subscribers, 5,613 to go, so tell your friends to subscribe and leave a like on this video. One thing I did not like in FC25 career mode was the FC IQ system that they brought in. This FC IQ system still confuses me even after a year. I wish that EA just brought back the old way of doing your tactics in career mode. These player roles and that, I barely use them properly. Let me know if you like the FC IQ system. Anyway, EA says that it's getting better in FC26 career mode. There's a bit to read here. EA says that they've increased flexibility for tactical vision, giving you the tools to faithfully replicate your favorite team style of play or experiment with bold new tactics of your own. Curious how wing play works with a false 9 or how possession feels with a poacher? Now you can find out. So let's try this in FC25. We've got the wing play preset and then we have to do false 9. So let's see that. False 9. I don't think it works because you get that broken link icon. It says wing play needs the striker position assigned to target forward in a 4-3-3 holding formation. Your changes will be saved as custom. Do you want to continue? So from what I understand, this would not happen in FC26. I think you would be able to set that up. They've also renamed tiki-taka and gegen pressing to possession and high pressing, reflecting how these once rigid philosophies have evolved into approaches that are more flexible, adaptable, and widely used. So tiki-taka will now be called possession, and gegen pressing will now be called high pressing. The new tactical vision requirements focus only on what's truly essential for each style, nothing more. Standard has no requirements, as it represents the fundamental way football is learned and played worldwide. I'm happy to see that there's no requirements with Standard. I believe it's known as the balanced option in FC25, but you can see with the balanced option, the moment you change the build-up style, you get that broken link icon, unless you leave it on balanced. And even with the defensive approach, if you don't leave it on balanced, you'll get a broken link icon. It's good that Standard has no restrictions now, because sometimes you just want to play a completely different way and not have to worry about links. New tactical requirements on build-up styles. Possession requires close support. Wing play requires balanced or counter. Counter-attack requires counter. As for defensive approach, park the bus requires deep. Kick and rush requires balanced. High pressing requires high or aggressive. No tactical vision now requires both a build-up style and a defensive approach, allowing for greater flexibility and experimentation within each vision. Player roles are no longer mandatory, giving you the freedom to tailor your tactical setup to your squad and personal style. Roles still benefit from head coaches who are familiar with your chosen vision, so you can stick with classic combinations if you prefer. For example, in a possession setup, your striker could play as a false 9 with role familiarity boosted to false 9+ under a silver head coach, or to a false 9++ with a gold head coach. But if you'd rather use them as a poacher, you can do so without any penalty. I do like the sound of this because in FC25, I barely used the player roles feature properly. Now if you have a possession setup, you can have a striker with the poacher role without any penalty. So it looks like there's more flexibility now with player roles. The number of key roles has been significantly expanded, recognizing that every player on the pitch can play a crucial part. After all, some of football's most legendary defenders were just as creative as any midfielder or forward. Together, these changes address community feedback on the FC IQ system, bring the game closer to modern football's ever-evolving nature, and open up a wide range of tactical possibilities and combinations for you to explore. I do love to hear this because the FC IQ system felt too restrictive. Hopefully now there's more freedom to play the way you want to play. This is an FC26 screenshot, so you have the tactical preset set to possession, which was formerly known as tiki-taka. You have the build-up style as short passing, and then you have a defensive approach of deep. If you did that in FC25, the deep defensive approach would get a broken link icon, and it would have to be saved as a custom preset. According to EA, we now have more accurate second position recognition, improved out of position alerts. They've addressed an issue where players were not correctly recognized for their secondary positions. Now, the out of position alert will no longer appear when a player is assigned to any of their preferred positions, ensuring more accurate squad management and a smoother experience. So if you're noticing issues in regards to secondary positions, it looks like that's been fixed now. We have an onboarding revamp in FC26 career mode. EA says that they've noticed that the early days of each new career could become overwhelming with tasks and emails, many of which weren't essential for setting up as a manager at your club. To address this, they've introduced an entry flow that allows you to focus on things gradually at your own pace. So let's see how the FC26 onboarding process works. So you have the loading screen here, and once that's done, it comes up with the save files, so you can start a new career mode save or override an existing one. But I think now you can also skip this. In FC25 you could not skip it, you would have to always save it, but we'll find out here. It looks like they've just skipped it now, and it takes you straight to the contract offer. You sign a contract, and then it loads you straight into the career mode save. It doesn't look like there's cutscenes now before the save starts. It looks like the task list is also a bit neater on day one. There's only 3 things there: select tactical vision, meet your squad, and new email from a system manager. Look how many there were in FC25. There were 7 tasks on day 1. The onboarding process definitely looks less overwhelming in FC26 career mode, and hopefully we can start new saves without having to save them straight away, because that was very annoying in FC25. As a content creator, you have to start many saves, and sometimes it's just to test one thing out. But every time I started a new career, I had to create a save file, and it just wasn't necessary every time. There is no back button. In older FIFA games you could press a back button, but it looks like in FC26 now there's going to be that back button once again, which means that you don't have to create a save file for every career that you start. In FC26 career mode, both you and AI clubs can send out freshly bought players on loan. I'm pretty sure that we could already loan freshly bought players in the game, but EA is saying this is a new feature. EA says that with this update, both you and AI controlled clubs can arrange loan deals for players bought in the current transfer window. This change introduces greater flexibility and realism to squad management and player development. You can use this feature to your advantage in career mode. As a big club, you can sign young talent and immediately send them out on loan, ensuring they gain valuable experience while continuing their development. Meanwhile, as a smaller club, you now have the chance to approach top clubs and bring in promising players on loan, even if they've only just joined their new side. This creates new opportunities for squad building and gives you access to emerging talent that might have been out of reach previously. This feature keeps the transfer market dynamic and true to real-world strategies, where clubs invest in young players and immediately seek the best environments for their growth. The option to loan newly signed players adds greater depth and authenticity to every career mode save. This is how it works. This is FC26 career mode gameplay from the deep dive notes. Basically, you negotiate with a player that you want to sign, you get the deal done. After that, the player joins the club and it tells you about the transfer. So they bought Gabriel Moscato, PSG to Manchester City, and then it gives you the rating, great price and all that. Then you go to the squad hub straight away, immediately after you sign the player, and go to the player's name. You click on the player name and then it says add to loan list, and you can just click on that, and the player gets immediately put on the loan list even though you just signed them. You would then receive loan offers for the player from other clubs, and you can send them out in the same transfer window on loan. So obviously you would do this for players that you know are not going to get much game time at the club. So you send them out, let them grow somewhere else, and then bring them back in for next season or something like that. But like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure this was already in FC25. I'm pretty sure we had the ability to put freshly bought players out on loan straight away, but I'm not sure if the AI clubs did. But in FC26, both you and the AI can do it. Thank you to my channel members, Chris, Callum, Wing, Connor and Hugo. If you want your name here, check out the link in the description. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like for me and make sure you subscribe to get more FC videos.